my classroom ed talk. Today we are looking at three different selections of reading: Teaching the Taboo, Chapter 3 and 4, Effective Classroom Management, Chapter 4 and 5, and What Should I Do, Chapters 3 and 4. So far, I'm really enjoying these books. I think that we're getting some great information from them. And we're going to start out first by discussing effective classroom management and what that looks like in our classrooms. We were reading this week about the positivity that a good classroom environment would have for students, and how it's very important for students to be aware of the humanness of a teacher's qualities, as well as the humanness of their fellow classmates. I think that it's really important that we have an environment that draws on humanity, and also an environment where all students can be safe, not only from each other, but just a safe environment where they're okay to try new things. And some of the strengths that we've aligned ourselves with as teachers is obviously what we do know, what we can help students with. And then our weaknesses may be things that we don't know and we have to find answers for. I know that students really respect the fact that you don't know everything all the time, and maybe if you help research a topic with them, it also helps them to understand that you're also involved in the learning process and you're a lifelong learner. This, as far as dilemmas go, I think that can be kind of obvious, and obviously you don't want to make it too personal. But for instance, today, my students were complaining about the fact that they had a lot of homework, and I said, well, guess what? So do I, but we'll all get it done if we, prioritize and manage our time. So then we ended up having a conversation about time management. So it ends up becoming relevant in our relationship with each other, and they understand that I'm a real person with real struggles and real problems as well. In the book, What Should I Do? The focus here, obviously, for the student is on learning. Students must be willing to try to trust the teacher. Sometimes this is difficult depending on their background. Also, the student, especially the secondary student, is learning about who or what type of person he or she is. The teacher is also learning about what their new role is in their job, and how they want to align themselves professionally. So a novice teacher is learning about their own students and what also their limitations might be. So this is really tricky, because when both of these relationships are happening simultaneously, it definitely adds to the complexity of that relationship, and also what the teacher and the student can accomplish together. I strongly feel that if you trust your students and trust their leadership and their empathy and their intelligence, that it is going to be a successful relationship. Obviously, you have to build that trust between the two of you. And, it's a little bit scary at first, but I feel like the benefit outweighs the other portion of that could possibly be negative. In Teaching the Taboo this week, I really liked reading this book, because I really aspire to have a classroom similar to the one mentioned in Avi's World. Not, specifically what they have depicted there, but more just the idea of the environment. Just having the environment be one that was trusting, and remaining always in control, always the adult, but also not afraid to tackle big subjects and big topics, and knowing when your students need an adult as a mentor and somebody that they can utilize as a leader to help them in their development. I think that as a secondary teacher is my role a lot of the time. I have a student that, about 3 or 4 students actually, that were on the swim team. And I went to the swim meet last week on my break, because she had said that she wasn't going to have a parent there. So since I knew several of the students that were going to be on the team and also that had been on my mock trial team, I went. And this little girl was really taken aback by the fact that I had taken time to go. And I felt really great cheering for her, and I know she appreciated it. So that things like that also help build trusting environments. Um, all of these readings are relevant to me. Obviously, this is a picture of Ben Franklin, but I like this quote, and he said it, so I put his face with it. This talks about, telling me to do something and I'm going to forget it. Teach it to me and I may remember, but involve me and I will learn forever. And I think that this is really how I try to run my classroom. Um, it's a collaboration always, and I hope that my students benefit from it as much as I do.